Hi everyone, it's Sue Plumb here to share another scrapbook process video with you. Today's layout that I am sharing was created for Kitaholic Kits, and it's my second for the month of May using the May kit and mixed media add-on. Let's get stuck in. So for today's layout, I was actually inspired to create this layout from one of the stencils that was in the mixed media kit. Now, there is a pack of the Vicky Bouton brand new colour study stencils in the mixed media kit this month. And you can see that pattern that I've got on the stencil there is a floral pattern. Now, when I looked at this pattern, it looked very retro to me and it reminded me of, days gone by. So I actually thought that I might pull out a very old photo. Now, by very old, I'm talking early 1980. And it's a photo of my sister and I when we were little kids, sitting on the back step having an ice cream. And I just thought that the whole vibe of using an old photo would go with what I classified as this sort of retro style floral print. And the colours in this photo actually worked quite well with the paper that I was working with as well. So you can see that paper that I've started with there for my background is actually one of the new Heidi Swapp Carefree papers. And it's sort of a painty mixed media style paper. And I thought this time, rather than doing a heavy mixed media background like I did for my previous project, that I'd let the paper do some of the work for me. So there was no need for me to apply paint or anything like that because it was already all on the paper. And this is a great way to do mixed media backgrounds for people that don't like getting their hands dirty, which is not me. But anyway, so I started with that mixed media style paper. I had the Vicky Bouton stencil and I pulled out one of my distress oxides. Now the colour that I am using there is called Tattered Rose. And if you are looking for a colour that will work really well with this Heidi Swapp Carefree collection, then Tattered Rose is one of the ones that I would recommend. It worked beautifully with that sort of peachy, warm peachy sort of tone, pinky tone in the background there. It was a great match. So I used my Oxide and just a foam blender there, and I just daubed through the stencil and just added some of that floral pattern up near the top of the paper over on the left hand side, and then sort of down in the middle at the bottom of my paper there as well. And that was giving me sort of my visual triangle. Now you can see the way that Tattered Rose colour actually layers over some of the colours on the paper itself. And it worked really, really well. I was really impressed. So once I had that stenciling down on my background, I actually switched over and I thought I will start putting together some of my papery layers. I had a few other papers and some scraps from my previous project. All were from the Heidi Swapp Carefree collection as well. So they all coordinated really well. And as I said, I thought that this worked quite well with the photo that I was using. You can see the colour of the bricks behind us works in well with some of the colours on the paper, and yeah, it was just really easy to coordinate this one. So in the kit this month, there are also some paper doilies. You can see one of them on the paper there. It's a large white one, so I didn't bother searching through my stash for one of my own doilies. I just pulled one out of the kit. I've added that into my layers with some torn and cut other pieces. I've also sort of distressed the edges using my fingernail just to give it some extra texture. And I've just added all of those in a stack in the center of my page there and stapled them down onto the page. On top of my stack, I'm also adding some frayed gauze. If you've been watching my videos, you know that I use this on almost every page that I do. If you're brand new, welcome. Pop back and have a look at the product focus video I did, and you can learn all about the sort of gauze that I use on my page. Now, when it came to embellishing this page, I actually stuck with this same Heidi Swapp collection just for the ease of doing this. I had the ephemera pack there, so I was just pulling out some coordinating pieces from that. And I also used the coordinating cardstock stickers for this layout as well. I pulled out that journal card on the left hand side there, and you'll see that I actually take that off camera and I just type my journaling onto there before I return it to the layout. On the right hand side, you can see that I found a little die cut tag that had some flowers printed on it in the ephemera pack. And all I did was pulled out a piece of baker's twine out of my stash and just tied a bit of that on the end. I love adding twine to tags like this because it's a great way to add extra texture to your layout. So you can see that I am just tucking that in under the right hand side, running it horizontally just to work with those other horizontal lines that I've got going on the page from the pattern paper pieces that I had there. I'm a tongue-tied mess today, I swear. You can see I've got all my layers built up there, and now I'm going in with some of the other embellishments and just embellishing around the photo. Now, up in the left-hand corner of the photo, there was actually a pot plant behind us that got cut off, and you can see some of the leaves in the photo. So I just decided to continue that theme off the edge of the photo by tucking in one of the leafy die cuts in, just to fill in that gap there and just continue on the leafy theme in that corner. Now, I actually found a flower die cut in there, that it was a gold foil printed one, and decided to tuck it into those layers on the right hand side of my photo. I didn't want to have the whole flower showing there, so what I actually did was cut it in half with a pair of scissors. So I've tucked the top half in the layers there, and then rather than wasting the bottom half of the flower, I've just tucked it in under those torn paper layers underneath the photo at the bottom. Now, what else was I doing? So you can see that I have got that die cut piece there, which is actually stuck over the edge of the photo, and on it it says, "These are the days I want to remember." Now, because I had that gold foil piece there, my journal card also had the gold foil edging, and I also had the gold foil flower on the right hand side. So I was just looking to add in a few gold things just to tie all those things in together. I've also stuck the Happy With You phrase sticker, which is gold foiled as well, along the bottom edge of my photo. And I do believe I stuck a little gold foiled heart as well. And just making sure that there's more than one gold thing on there just helps to tie the whole thing together. So you can see that I've returned my journal card to the layout now. I took it off, as I said, and I typed it on my typewriter. I'm sticking down that die cut over the edge of the photo. You can see I have also added that small gold heart there. I'm just sticking that down. For my title, I used one of the stickers from the cardstock sticker sheet, which simply says "Together," and I just popped that up with a bit of foam tape just to help pop it up from the layout. Now, I went in with the pink paisley stamp set that's included in this month's kit. I also went in with a couple of other oxides. The first one that I'm using is Bundled Sage, and this again is another colour that coordinates really well with this Heidi Swap collection. So I just chose one of the butterfly stamps, and I've stamped some at the top, on the left, and down in the bottom right there. I roughly was working in the same areas that I'd put the stenciling, and then I switched over to a small butterfly stamp, and I just added a few extra little ones in the colour of Stormy Sky. And again, that coordinated really well with this collection. All of those sort of pretty muted tones, it all tied in really well together. Other than that, I added some splatters onto this page. I went in with the, I used the Heidi Swap Colour Shine in navy, and I also used Dina Wakley Gloss Spray in mineral, which is that beautiful bluey grey colour. I love it, it's beautiful. So yeah, I added multiple colours of splatters onto this one because it was looking way too clean and neat for me. But when you look at this layout in its entirety, you can see that the background looks like I've done a lot more mixed media work than I actually have. And that's simply because of the paper that I started with. And as I said, if you're not a sort of person who likes to get their hands dirty and do a lot of mixed media, this style of paper is ideal for you. Not only that, I am quite happy that I managed to scrap this vintage photo of my sister and I. It's not the greatest quality photo, but I got the memory recorded, and that is the most important thing, right? Finished off with a few phrase stamps around the place, and this one was done. Thanks so much for watching today. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I'll see you next time. Bye.